Oh, not bad. How about you?
Okay, I guess. Schools don't clean or maintain themselves, you know. I have noticed quite a lot of stress among your colleagues recently, my friend. What is going on?
We have been asked to define the instructional practices a teacher should be evaluated on when being placed in our school from another school, to see if he or she is an acceptable fit. This is part of the Senate Bill 10-191. We are supposed to give input on this as part of the stated collaboration process.
What exactly does that mean? Why are teachers being asked to do this?
I suppose if we give input on a new colleague, then we bear responsibility for the outcomes, if he or she is either good or bad at their job.
Isn't that what the evaluation process is for? Surely the evaluation rubric that you described to me earlier this year is set up for this purpose. Wouldn't this provide enough information about the teacher if it was carried out appropriately?
You would think so, wouldn't you? But this collaboration notion is bubbling to the surface a lot for some reason. As though talking about it with teachers provides the decision-makers license to move ahead, having said they have consulted.
It sounds very political to me.
You may well be right. Anyhow, we have been charged with creating the definition for instructional practices as they apply to our school.
How will you go about defining them?
This is the question we are all wrestling with.
How so?
We obviously want a new teacher who is going to be an excellent teacher at the grade level they are going to be teaching. But how do we define good in a way that is different from the standards that we are all supposed to be evaluated on anyway?
Go on.
Some suggestions have been made that we insist on some programmatical-based element to ensure a good fit. For example, if this school was an IB school, then we may want to insist on the transferred teacher having an IB background and training. However, this bothers me.
Why?
I picture myself as the teacher who has been ripped from a school because of a decrease in funding. I was the last one employed, therefore the first to be let go. A job is available in a school with a specific focus for which I have no training yet. I'm concerned that I would not be found eligible for that position because of a lack of experience, rather than the fact that I'm a poor teacher.
Ah, I see why this may tie everyone up in knots. It could be very detrimental to new teachers and those who have been in the system for a long time in one grade level.
It could. Personally, I would be happier to rely on a process that was transparent throughout the district. One where everyone was judged by the same criteria.
That would make good sense. Why is this not the default setting on the process?
I suppose because it relies on a single evaluator in many cases. If the teacher has a poor evaluation on record, because he or she had a conflict in style and opinion, then they could be seen as a poor fit, even though they may be a great teacher under different conditions.
What other criteria do you think may present a problem?
To continue in a similar vein of thought, many schools are increasing their populations of students who do not speak English as their first language. We might include an ESL endorsement as part of the definition. At this school we might equally ask for experience with talented and gifted education or special education. If we include these criteria in our definition of instructional practices, then we almost immediately exclude a host of people who may not have had this experience so far. I'm troubled by this.
Wouldn't this ensure that the incoming teacher is going to get up and running quickly?
Possibly. It could also mean that, if you are ripped from a school through no fault of your own, then you may not get a job because of the training you have not taken.
Thorny issues abound in education nowadays, don't they?
Sure do.
Oh, by the way, when are you supposed to discuss this as a staff? I thought there was a shortage of collaboration time. Is this the jurisdiction of the administration or the union or both?
I thought I might squeeze my input in between early planning, lunch and committee time. I've got so much time to spare.
Come now. Sarcasm does not become you, my friend. You must keep positive on this journey of yours.
I know. But when should we decide to comply meekly, and when should we stand up and speak our piece?
The next bandwagon will be along soon enough. Do not let your hair get too gray over this one.
Your advice is sage as always. Good night and do not work too hard.
Of course. Bon nuit.